This is a 2015 FJ-09 California edition. If you have an FJ-09 or an MT-09 tracer, you probably know that the seat is a bit challenging. Of course, not for everybody, but the seat is fairly basic, fairly rectangle, fairly inexpensive foam, a very lightly made seat, and really rubs some of us the wrong way and is really not that comfortable, again, for most of us. So we're all looking for options, and there's all kinds of different options. I decided to talk to Corbin about making a seat for this bike. This is the very first custom one that they did. And I'll walk you through a little bit about it. We'll show you how it relates and how it compares to the stock seat, and I'll show you how it works, taking it on and off, and give you my early opinions about it. So let's do this. So here are the seats sitting side by side off the bike, and you can tell just visually they look quite a bit different and really come from a different philosophy of seat making, I think. I had a chance to talk to Mike Corbin about this and learned that he likes the FJ-09 a lot. He's a Yamaha guy and really enjoyed making this seat for me, and was looking forward to putting these on a number of bikes. So let's take a look around at the differences between the seats. Obviously, the stock seat is a two-piece. It is a fairly lightweight piece, which is great from a point. Built-in couple of tools here. This is not the, you can eat 4 rubber mounts and a little bit of metal of, I'd say, moderate weight there. Plastic, vinyl, and fairly basic staples, it looks like, not even real big industrial. So easy to kind of take apart and put foam or inserts on. It has a trampoline effect. I heard that term to see, because there's no stitching on it, which is very different from this. I already have a little nick in mine. I have no idea where that came from. I didn't do anything that would cause that nick, so maybe something fell on it in the garage you didn't know about. A little bit of light metal here. This is actually fairly light metal. And if you are an owner of one of these, you know that this seat doesn't actually fit that tightly. It actually wobbles around in the back, and unless you put your body weight on it, it actually isn't really feel like a firmly attached seat. Now, where it hurts me is along this ridge here. It's a fairly flat seat. And it actually, from a front and back, it actually is a moderate angle for me, and it works fine. But there's a really kind of unexpected hard ridge along here, and as I push it here, it's not that hard, but there's something about the shape and the firmness that makes it, digs into my leg, hamstring, and so forth. It really is painful. This is a much different seat. This is a one-piece seat, and if we turn it over, it's actually about 5 pounds heavier, I would say. It very, very solidly made. Has, I don't know the complete mixture of material here, but it's certainly fiberglass and some polymers and glue and so forth. This is a custom kind of a seat bed that has metal riveted rubber pieces right onto it. So even that is more quality than these. So even the rubber is stiffer and higher quality. Stamped with Corbin USA. The metal, I think, is a little bit more strong. At least it feels more solidly attached. This has the built-in heat elements for both the rider and the passenger. My model has a leather with an imprint pattern of carbon fiber, and it's a little more shiny, so it kind of pops off the bike. There's a little more dull one you can get as well, which I think would look good as well. This piping comes here, and there's all kinds of optional styles. You can have kind of a piece that comes back through here. I wanted to get this effect of angular lines, and the lines going straight back and terminating in similar angles here. So very symmetrical, very aligned with the angular styling of the bike, as opposed to some of the more traditional stitching of Corbin, which kind of flows out this way. All right, and this is a kind of a rough, very tough feeling nylon. It looks and feels great, especially in contrast to the leather seat on top. The heating element underneath is pretty basic. It has the switch here. It has an element up in here and an element down in here, and this is a timer. And they've inspected it to 105 degrees Fahrenheit on the front and the back at 3 amps. So they do all the quality testing there. So this is, like I said, a very different kind of seat than this, which is much more of a, again, typical stock seat. A lot of trampoline effect here, no stitching to keep it down. This has a lot of stitching and down material, so much less trampoline. This is a much firmer seat, very firm foam, but a lot of foam that over time will mold to and how you sit on the bike and so forth. So that's just differences in the seat. Let's go check it out on the bike. Let's show you how the Corbin seat goes on and off the bike. It's pretty straightforward. I do want to first say that this bike in the stock configuration has 2 heights available with the stock seat, and to support that it has 2 flanges that stick out from the bottom of the gas tank and allow you 2 positions to put the seat. On the Corbin, it's designed to go snugly in the bottom one only. Now the thing to know is that there's so much foam, 3 to 4 inches of foam here, which is far more foam than the regular seat has, stock seat rather, that it actually sits higher than the highest position, or at least it feels that way. I haven't measured it, but it feels higher because I think it's a bit wider through here, and so your legs hitting the ground, I have about a 31 to 32 inch inseam, and for me it pops me a little bit higher on my toes. I like it during riding to be higher, but it's a little bit harder at a standstill. All right, well, let's put this on. Now, they put a harness here, connector for the heating element, and in the summer you might want to leave that off. There is a nice waterproof seal on this connector, and it's just a matter of straight snapping it in. And to take it off, you can even use one hand. You just flick this and then pull off. You want to just tuck this off to the side. There's a nice trough here. This doesn't interfere at all with the back storage area. In fact, it may give you a little more room up here. So it's going to go on the pressure points on the frame and the different body work here. Now, so the trick is there are 2 rubber pads that need to get up into the right spot, and you need to get that tongue under the lowest position. So what I do is I just feel it and get that tongue kind of positioned. There we go. And then I just push it forward into place and push it down. And sometimes I give it a good firm whack just so it snaps into place real nicely. And this seat is very firm now. You can tell this is exactly what we were hoping for with the stock seat. It flows really nicely with the bike, really tight up against the bodywork around the back end of the bike. I can take off the bag so you can see how that looks without the bag. There. So that, as you can see, is very, very tight along here. And again, remember that every surface, if you don't like this particular design, you can change any, this ribbon here can be any of the materials that they have essentially. So any of the colors, any of the patterns. This is what they call candy red, which is not exact red, but it's closer than their bright red color. This is a leather carbon fiber, like I said, and the nice vinyl here that kind of gives it some contrast. And the stitching you can customize yourself. Like I said before, this is just the one I decided to go with that was a little more angular and tracer-like and less swoopy like their normal pattern was. Now, someone asked me about the backrest that comes with this. Let me go grab it and we'll put it on. Let's put the backrest on. So this is a Gunfighter and Lady design seat. And by the way, I measured the stock pillion seat and it was about 10.5 inches back here. This is 12 to 12.5 inches. So it gives you another couple of inches side by side. Has a little bit more of a seat area here rounded off. So it's going to be a fairly flat, slightly forward, but it gives you enough I guess forward rise here, you could say, that you're not going to slide forward into the rider all the time. Now, So to get the backrest on, and this would make it very comfortable, a nice kind of snug place to ride for a long time, there are different backrests. This is a good one, and as Mike was saying, they design it this way so you can actually bungee or tie on things and have it packed in here very nicely. You can also actually get a glove box. I'll be getting one of these as well, where you take these two pieces off here and you get a box to carry small things back here. So that's kind of a nice feature of this particular backrest. So what you do is there's this flap, you bring it up, there's a flap that covers a hole, and I don't know if you can see that hole, but this goes into a metal piece that's built into the seat. And actually what you do is you fold this and put that down so you don't have that flapping, and then it goes through and trimmed out fairly nicely. Now of course it is just sitting there, and there is an adjustment here with a small Allen wrench. Loosen that up, move the seat back and forth, and tighten it into place. But let's say we're going to tighten it, we'll put it up about right here. What you do is, I've already unlatched the seat. There is a little hole inside of here that you're looking for, and here it is. So I guess this is the place where they want it, and you basically, there we go, run that nut in here. I would probably, I don't know if I put a little Loctite or something here, put a little pressure washer or something, spring washer, so that that doesn't really loosen up. And then you just put the seat back into place. And remember, you want to get the rubber up and over and the flange underneath, and then smack it down, and that seems pretty good. So there you go. There is the seat. We'll just move the camera a little bit so you can see it. That's what it looks like. It's a real comfortable place to be. I sat on it during the production of the seat just to kind of get a sense. It was very comfortable actually, and with the backrest you have really nice stable. This is actually pretty heavy duty with that metal piece back there. I might need to tighten a little bit more. Very, very nice place to be, and is helpful. So this seat, I think, works for longer touring, cruising, so forth. It looks and works really well for that. I find it works pretty well in the twisties too. It's a very, very solid seat. You don't feel like it's moving around on you. You're really connected to the bike when you're on this seat. Anyway, that is the Corbin Gunfighter and Lady for the FJ-09 MT-09 Tracer.